on low RPM?
I just told him the pressure gauge. So if you're going to clear a blockage off, you always make sure that you verify that there is zero on a clamp. If there is a zero and it's holding 100, they'll leave the clamp off. You'll be the last clamp the guys take off. They're wrapping around with it.
Ayúdame con la cámara aquí.
Just put it on the rock itself, the shift over. And then on your weekly and monthly and yearly inspection, you'll verify that there is gas in there. Where it snaps off, you see where it snaps off. As your pre-tip.
Yeah, he did explain that. Juan did.
So on the front of it, so you have a pedal hook. You got your 7-space connector, and then that is with electric brakes. And then you know how basically how the jack works. Like, pretty self-explanatory. Just the sitting foot at the bottom. Your ID plate. Anytime that you call me, you're gonna have to give me your serial number. You got fuel here, your battery, and then just various parts on the engine. At 250 engine hours, you're gonna do service change. And that's hydraulic filter, oil, fuel on the other side. And there is air in here also. Air. Fuel. There's a main primary here for your electric fuel pump. You spin that off, see the black?
Yep.
And then your oil is here. Dipstick. And then up here on the top is your fuel tube.
Yep. Can you go over how to start it with the remote?
Sure.
Voy a ganar regalías.
So because there's downtime relief or a relay now that's installed, you will not be able to start
él
it.
se apaga, pero siempre y cuando esté aquí en rojo estás grabando todavía, solamente apunta hacia allá y ya.
If you turn the remote on, it's always going to be closed because that's the off position. You release it, it's going to flash. You hold it 2, and it comes on. You can hear the relay click over. Now it'll run. If I hit the e-stop, it'll turn the machine on.
So this is only when we're running the remote.
Yep.
But if we're manually doing it, we just flip that up, start it. There's another one right there.
Correct. And there's a third one on the other side.
Now, is this set up to just start pumping right away? Or which buttons of these am I going to be turning to kind of start?
For a manual,
Yep.
yeah, for a manual, well, let me just keep it off. For a manual, for pump forward, off, reverse, off. This is not applicable as if you set up an actuator later on. Hydraulic cooling fan, here, come on. This is to turn your agitator on, forward and reverse.
This one right here?
Yep. And then this is if you had a vibrator.
Okay, does it matter which position this is, forward or reverse?
Always forward. That way it's always turning into the material cylinder. The only reverse you need is usually if you're waiting 15, 20 minutes. Yeah, you kind of break it up a little bit.
So this is neutral. This is just forward and reverse.
There is a neutral.
There is a neutral?
Yeah, there is a neutral. If you press it in the center there, it'll be neutral. But I always leave it always forward. Yeah, always forward. And then this is for vibrator.
Okay.
Hand being on all the time.
Yeah.
And then this would be when you have in a forward gear.
Okay.
And then I believe it's here for the vibrator. Okay. Plug it in there. Sorry, free wire. And then your e-stop, of course you can figure that out. If you screw the flow control all the way in, it will not pump. So even if you get it pump forward, you're going to call me.
Hey, go over this flow control again. What does it do?
Okay, so it's like a water faucet. If you screw it in, it turns the water off.
Okay.
If you screw it out, it starts letting the water out more and more and more and more. So about
Where do I want to keep it?
About 10 full turns is all the way. It's 100%.
So closed, all the way to the right, counterclockwise would be opening it up.
Correct. And this is just a remote access for the A10DO. It's a remote. I'll describe it to you. It's a remote slave, but it's like a regulator, a remote regulator. So in a regulating setting, percentage-wise, if you screw that in, it's 0%. So a pump works in reverse. It needs pressure to go to 0. if you fired it off and you didn't have this in line, if I took this off and put the two lines together, that's 100%. Pump doesn't know any different. It just knows a high and a low by itself, by external regulator. That's all it knows. It knows it cuts off at pressure, you know, at 350 bar, and it turns off at, you know, at 80 bar. There's no in between. So that's where you're making it in between. So now you're moving the squash plate just a little bit, so it gives you 100%.
So I just want to make sure I understand, but when I started, let's say I've got everything hooked up, all my lines and everything, right? I'm getting ready to pump. I've already got the, what do you call it, slick pack in there.
Slick pack in there. I usually turn it on all the way out, turn it on forward, and have it pump cycle about 3 times. And that's like some of the slick pack into the hose.
And it'll automatically start sucking out. That's what I mean, that's what the...
When you put it forward, yeah, it'll push. And you want to about go through. You don't want to push it out the other.
And if I keep it right now where it's at, just off, it's not going to do anything until I'm ready to start pumping. Right?
So you plug it up, correct? Yeah. You go up,
It will stop.
one time. And then now it's in a forward gear.
Bottom will be the reverse.
And the bottom reverse, right. So if you're going from forward to reverse, of course, you can't go up and then straight down.
So,
you got to go up, stop, and then down.
Okay, so let's say I'm done pumping a job, right? I'm getting ready to clean the lines. What I've seen is they put a ball in there and then they suck it back in, right? To clean the hoses off the inside. Is that recommended with these or no?
It's easier for me when a guy tells me if you're using 2-inch or 2.5.
I don't have anything yet, but I'm using 3 inches on the hoses.
3 inches. So
yeah.
I mean, you can do it either way. 100 foot of 3 inch is 1 wheelbarrow of concrete.
Okay.
So if I know if I got 200 feet of 3 inch, it's going to be 2 wheelbarrows. So I asked the guy, the finisher at the down the bottom, if I got a, say I end up with 125 feet, I know I got a good wheelbarrow. I'll ask him if the hopper's filled all the way up, that's a wheelbarrow. So I know together with 100 foot of 3 inch, 2 wheelbarrows. So I'll ask the finisher, hey man, when you get 2 wheels, let me know. And he'll say, oh, I'll pump that hopper down. I won't let the driver put any more in there. Pump it down. And he goes, yeah, I need about a half a wheelbarrow. Boom. I start adding water. Now I push water with the concrete into the hoses. And I push all the way to him. When he has enough, you throw the outside, then the rest of the water, you just wash the concrete down. Okay. Boom. Now you're halfway clean. I'll bust the reducer off. I'll keep the trap door open. I'll wash down, put it in reverse, wash my cylinders out, wash my rock valve out. I'll close it up. I'll put a ball in here, put it together, and now fill up again a second hopper full, and now I'll push that ball through my hoses. Boom, I'm clean. I can eat out of these things now. You know?
So that's how you clean the lines. Yeah,
that's how I clean them, yeah.
I wasn't aware how to clean them.
Because sometimes, you know, you got a ball, and the ball will jump over the concrete, and then you got concrete in the hoses, you're rolling them up at the end, you're like, man, where's the concrete over? Now you got to stop and clean them out now manually, so now you've done double work.
So what size of ball would I need to order?
A 3 inch.
A 3 inch?
Now, I'm cheap. You know those little cushions and shit you see outside of the road? You know, in taxis and stuff people throw them in?
Yeah.
Grab them cushions, man. I cut them up into 3 inch squares. They work perfect. Yeah. Squares, perfect.
I remember we used them all the time.
I love them, yeah. Oh yeah. They're cheap. You gotta leave them on a job, you're not pissed off because they cost you down $10, you know what I mean? Yeah. You wanna beat them up for it? Nowadays, I mean, if you leave a shovel on the job, you're in the red. You know what I mean? You gotta come back every day. Give them clamps and hoses and sponges like that. So if you leave a sponge,
yeah, that's not a big deal.
Yeah. So that's how I do it. Yeah. You can suck back if you want. Just needs to use the water for me. You know, in 15 minutes, if I do 50 yards and he's got a 60-yard, he's got a 10-yard callback, so you're going 60 plus. I pump out the 10 yards, and now you're waiting for a 3-yard callback. So when you call the driver and he comes over and he calls the plant, yeah, well, we're waiting for a truck. Well, I already know I'm getting far. That's going to be an hour. If I can wash out 15 minutes of water. You know, you don't have to wash out real good. Just, you know, boom, 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 boom. Yeah. Wash the 2 cylinders, wash the rock, put the ball in there, boom, blow it out, I'm done. I'm bullshitting with the superintendent now, you know, for 45 minutes. The guy get here, I've already got my slip pack button, I throw it back in there, I pump it down again, and then we'll dry them out again. You know, at first you're going to be scared, you know, and you are going to plug. I'm not going to lie, you're going to plug. There's the machine's trying to feel you out, just like you're feeling the machine out. You know, you don't know about how fast to go, how not fast to go. With the slip pack, you don't want to go so slow that the half moves, and then now you plug up. There's nothing to stop. You don't want to go so fast that the concrete jumps over it. You want to swirl it and go through here. So with that, I mean, it's going to be a little bit of playing around with it. You know what I mean?
So here I'm sorry, go ahead.
I usually, when I prime out, I usually screw all the way in until it stops, and then I'll go 3 full turns down, and then try that. And if not, then if it seems like it's a little too fast, I might go 2.5 turns the next one. You just kind of play around for the sweet spot, and you know. And the way you prime out with 100 foot is going to be different than 200 foot. I mean, it's all there. I plug up, I don't give a shit. You know what I mean? I plug up, let's go. I usually got my Mexican with me. Boom, boom, boom. Here we go. Down there, it is right there.
Get on it.
If it's close to a clamp, I'll back the pressure off of it, bust the clamp loose. We'll shake that end out, up a little bit. You know, maybe if I got a bucket full, put it back together, boom, let's go. I mean, it's pretty simple. The only reason why it's hard is because you make it hard. You know what I mean? Don't let the machine work you all day, because it'll make an old man out of you fast. You know, work it.
Really soon.
And if you sit back, I mean, I've seen a guy on a $20 million 61 meter run around in a circle for 30 minutes and not accomplish nothing. You know, think about what you're doing. You know, I mean, just what the hell happened? You know, let me think about this.
It's $20 million?
Well, you know, with all the attachment in the job they were doing the bridge deck, $20 million. They had to get a fire department out there and blow the concrete off the deck. You know what I mean? Because that was 15 million right there. Okay, so I mean, and it was over something stupid. It was over a wetting stop. This button had gotten wet behind it, and he couldn't figure it out. He could have swore it was in the remote. I mean, he just kept running around the machine, running around.
Do I need to worry about the remote? I mean, as long as the cover's on there,
it's waterproof.
Do they get waterproof?
Yeah. Just I have a rule of thumb in
They're waterproof.
You'll see it in the book. The rule of thumb. When I wash up, I put the remote in the truck. I don't need it no more. When I'm washing up, I'm all manual. You know what I mean? There's no sense. You don't have to run back and forth. Yeah. So, however, he can contest. We have a lot of people that call us. Oh, we left on the machine, we washed up, and we drove off, and it's gone. We have no, you know, hell, it's a whole new system now. You know what I mean? So, I just, you know, I just have a simple practice. You know, that when the guy goes, I'm done, I turn the remote off, I put it in the truck. Okay. Pull the gun box, you know what I mean?
What's the reach on these? How far can I go?
1,000 feet.
1,000 feet, yeah.
So a couple hundred feet of hose ain't gonna hurt me.
We went all the way to, you see where that tower is right there?
To the back of the street, yeah.
You're real effective.
I will still on. You will know that it's not longer communicating with each other when it's turned when it turns off the machine. Yeah.
In every random number, it gets another number. So it's always switching codes. You know, the only time I've ever had any interference is maybe at the airport. Something like on 900 megahertz. You know, two-way direct connected radios. Sometimes they mess with you. Most of the time, no.
Too much electrostatic noise.
Yeah. So, you know, read the manual. You know, just verify that there is zero on the pressure before you bust anything loose. Just because turning the machine off doesn't necessarily mean that it has zero pressure. You manually pull it back, put it reverse. Put it, you know, you just need to have just one stroke. Boom, boom. Okay, I'm done. You know there's zero pressure. I can take the clamp off now. You know, just you know, verify that there is.
Yeah.
Anytime it pressures down, stop. You know what I mean, and find out. Okay, you know, it's coming off the reducer. Oh man, it's all soft. Well, I know it's in the ass end now. I'll put it one stroke reverse. I'll take the reducer off. Because remember, it's going to suck down 1.5 inches or 1.5 inch rock. But you're going through 3 inch, 3/4. So chances are, you know, maybe something that the truck split down in there, and you know what I mean, something flat. You know what I mean, went through the grate. You got you. So it's not always in the hose. Sometimes it's in the reducer. So that you verify that it's zero and you back it up before you take anything.
Just those two gauges will tell you there's no longer risk of losing a.
Correct. The bottom gauge, the main pressure. Okay. The accumulator is always going to be at 200. Always. Okay. If it isn't, you need to call us and we need to find out why. You know? So, but it's always at 200. But there is a downfall. It can always switch over too. So you never stick your hand in there farther than the first coupler.
Yeah.
You know, when you wash out, you just stick your, you don't stick your arm all the way in there.
Yeah. No.
Because they can shift over. Then 4x4s.
Even if it's turned off. Even if everything is just
you verify zero. That
really?
Zero. Both of them are zero. Or you work on it. Yeah.
Oh.
But then 4x4s you see that are click clean. That's
Yeah, definitely.
So
not
big?
risky.
When I started with Schwing, we had 4 stickers. When I left, we had, I don't know, 89, 91 stickers. Every sticker you've seen ended in a fatality.
Probably happened to someone else.
By
an
insurance,
accident.
yeah. My protocol, you have to add a sticker every time somebody died. So every one of them stickers, somebody died on.
Yeah. So,
Which one would name after you?
yeah, not to interrupt or anything, but when I'm sucking back in reverse, that'll get rid of the pressure, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So I don't have to manually turn this knob down or anything. Once the pressure's back, so I can start removing clamps and everything.
Yeah. So you're going to be pumping along, and say you're priming out.
Mm-hmm.
Boom, 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 boom. You stop. It's going to say 300 bar. You're going to come here because you need to have a little pressure to find your plug. It's stiff. It's stiff. It's stiff. It's stiff.
Until it's soft.
It's soft. Boom! I found it. I know where it is. I come back here. One stroke reverse. Now the pressure's off the whole system.
Okay.
Now,
One stroke reverse will
If
release
it's
the
next to a clamp,
pressure.
I'll take the clamp off and beat it and shake it out.
Yeah.
If it's not next to the clamp, I'll take the one in the back of it, take that off, roll it out, beat it, and shake it out.
Okay.
You'll feel it in there. When you're popping it, you'll feel it. Dum, dum, ding, ding. You know, you'll feel it.
Okay.
And it's always safe. Never wrong. Always safe.
Oh, really?
Always safe.
I've always thought that it was like the probability of having 3 rocks at the same time going through the hose that will create the
That's
clog.
usually if you're pumping and all of a sudden it plugs for no reason. Usually that's what that is. I'm hoping. But priming out, it's usually sand. Remember, the Portland's getting ripped off, poured on the coat.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's always sand.
And you guys have the slick packs for sale as well, right?
Yeah.
Correct.
If I don't want to,
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
That's a good practice, man.
you know, for your kid's sake, I mean, it's a good. I mean, when I was 20, we put oil in there.
I remember every
Poured
time
oil
that
and
we
let's go.
every time that we went out, even if it was like a really wet mix or whatever, we primed every time.
Yes, yeah, it's
Without
too
any-
easy. Yeah, and you pass the cost along. We charge customers $7.50.
No, it was $15, and each bag is $4.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pass the cost along. And then they go, hey man, I'm not paying that 15. Did you plug? No, pay my $15, man. Come on.
Yeah. That's
I mean, you
just
can
so-
spend. I seen some guys spend 45 minutes on one plug. Just, you know, didn't know what they were doing, whatever. But you know, realistically, well, that's
not only
$300
wasting
an
money,
hour.
wasting material and stuff. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So, you know, what's it worth to you? $15 paint shit. You know, man, pass the cost right along. You know? Anything over 200 feet, it's $1 a foot. You know what I mean? They pay it. Shit, you need a wheelbarrow, that's for sure. You know.
What's the mixture ratio on each slick pack, like as far as water?
5 gallons.
5-gallon bucket
Yeah.
for each pack.
For each bag.
You
Yeah.
only need one if you're running 100 feet
I go up to 200 feet with one bag.
with one bag.
Yeah. I'll put.
After 50 cubic yards, you will have to, if you want to, re-prime the whole thing, right? After 5 trucks.
Yeah, and then you use another bag then. If you reprime. I usually put about 2 gallons of headwater in there, the whole 5-gallon bucket, and then I'll suck down about 3 times, stop, I'll turn it down now, and I'll tell the driver to float right on top of it.
Okay.
How was that again? How you did it?
I'll put 2 gallons of headwater in there,
Yeah.
put my slick
5
gallon,
gallons,
5
yeah.
gallons, I'll turn the machine on and go 3 strokes, boom, boom, boom,
in reverse?
in forward.
Oh, in forward. Okay,
I'll
okay.
turn
So
it
you
on.
Through
put,
the lines.
you put the primer
I'll
over
push it
there.
down about 25 feet.
Okay, so now you're
then I'll
ready
turn-
now on primer.
Now that's the machine on high, so I'll screw it all the way in, and screw it 3 full turns back out, and that's priming speed.
Okay.
And then now it's going to swirl. It's pushing.
Okay, so you cannot do it really fast, but not really slow because it's gonna moon,
Correct.
low moon you. How do you call that thing?
Half moon.
Half moon. Yeah.
Okay.
And if you leave it all the way up, man, it's going to look like a fucking cobra when you're pumping. I mean, fuck, man. The concrete will go past the water because you're going to plug up and you're going to notice that there ain't no fucking water in it. Well, then you're going to shake it out and see the rock and sand come out and then water come out. You're like, fuck, I'm wicked fast. You'll know real quick.
And that's when you
Okay.
adjust it.
That's if you forgot to adjust it.
You
Yeah,
forgot to adjust.
you primed out full, right? Oh man, they're volatile. You know, 500. You'll see it. A 1,000, fuck, it'll bring 200 foot back to you. It'll raise up like a fucking cobra. You know, holy shit. You know, they get volatile. The 500's a little bit forgiving. They're a little bit, not a lot, but they are. You know, they're a little forgiving. I mean, you'll start seeing them whipping around pretty good. And you're like, oh shit, that's too fast. Let me turn that thing down. You know. Or the 1000, it'll rip it right out of the fucking, right out of the hole.
But I heard a customer blowing up a 2-inch line with this SP500.
They're a little forgiving. They're, I mean, it's going to get you. If you're just a dumbass out there just flipping buttons, it's going to bite you. So, pumping's always been a thinking man's game. You're out there. You're not paying me for what I do. You're paying me for what I know.
Yeah.
You don't blow something up. You don't kill somebody out there. You know what I mean? So you're always thinking, okay, how can I do this different? And get into a good practice. When I get there, here's my steps. I get to the job. I don't listen to the contractor. Hey, set up right here, and we're going to pour around around the building. Hold on. So I'll park and I'll go look at the job. You know what I mean? Is there steel? Do I have to go across concrete? If I go to the other side, am I going just across gas? I'll tell them. I'd rather go across gas because if you go across a couple of gutters, well, that rubbing of the hose might tear your hose out. You know what I mean? So I'll go around the other side. Is that okay? Yeah, that's with me. If I have to add an extra 15 foot, okay, so be it. To keep my hoses safe, I'm good. So then I'll take the hoses out from the truck and I'll go to the front of the head and I'll start working my way back. I figure out what I need, 125 feet. Boom. I'll start putting my clamps on. I'll put my reducer, put my box or my 5-gallon bucket, get my water hose out, and I fill my slick pack. If I come an hour early, that you can't go faster than about a half hour with that stuff. If you go 15 minutes, it works in reverse. It'll actually suck the water out of the concrete. A slick pack will. So no less than a half an hour. So I'll set the slick pack up and I'll stir it a few times and let it sit. So I'll be a half hour. About 5 minutes before the job starts, I'll fire the machine up and start letting it warm up a little bit. Concrete gets there. I'll ask the driver, what did he have? Well, I got maybe an 8. Get up there and look. Let me find out what you got.
Yeah.
He goes up there. Oh, I got a 4. That's what I thought. Okay. Let's put 40 gallons on. Finisher wants about a 7.
Kind of what I was gonna say. When you want to keep it between a 6 and a 7, does that work for these machines?
Well, you go down to a 4, but
But you'll have more possibilities of clogging something up because it's drier.
Of course.
So the wetter it is, the better it is for these machines.
Easier for you to control. It doesn't kick so bad. It makes it all around easier. If the finisher, you'll drop with about 150 foot of 3 inch, you'll drop about 1 inch. So if you put in an 8, it's going to come out of 7. So
Hey, Daryl, now that we're on this matter, what will you say about getting into a job site that does not have running water? Because that's the scariest part of pumping, when you don't have water on the side, man.
Well,
I mean,
now I've heard of other states and having to bring water. And only a few times that I had to rent a water hog and go out there and fill it up and then bring it to the job. Usually in Florida, there's always water. In fact, if I showed up and you didn't have water,
we have a lot of areas in our neighborhood that they don't have water because there's a lot of new homes. That's about maybe 60-70% of our jobs.
that would be
No water. So my plan is to go to Tractor Supply or we can get one of those 100 or 2-gallon water containers, hook it up to a pump, and have water available. I'm gonna hook that up to the truck. That's my plan.
20 gallons.
no less than probably 150.
Oh,
Yeah, because
150
I was thinking about 100 or 200 gallons.
No less than 150. Because you'll fill up this hopper 50 gallons 3 times.
Yeah.
And you won't be able to wash out much. So anything over than 150, you'll be able to wash pretty good. Because my firm belief is I was clean to your job, I'm going to be clean when I leave. So if you got to pay me 15 minutes clean, that's fine. You got to pay me that. It was clean when I got here. And the next guy does it, and the next guy does it. I mean, I don't go home and then now use the pressure washer on my house, and then I got concrete in my yard, So I always clean it.
Also, it's your time now.
That's right. It's your time. So I grease before I leave. I check everything out. I make sure everything, I didn't forget nothing. I wash up real good, and you have to take the time to leave.
Okay.
But so like we were discussing, I set the slick pack up. The driver, puts in 40 gallons. I put in 3 or 4 gallons. Put in my slick pack. Like we said, we turn it on 3 times. Stop, turn it down, and we prime out. We're priming, and then as we discussed when we got closer to the end, then I start washing out in reverse. He only needs half a wheelbarrow. Well, I know I got that hose. I'll start filling up with water. I'll push that to him, and we got enough. He'll throw it to the form outside and wash it. Because you got 150 gallons coming his way. So if you left a 5-gallon bucket of cement, you'll wash it right on down. a lot of times, if you're doing it in the backyard, I've got those 55-gallon trash bags, the black ones, tied around the end, and fill that up. And then just the water come out, all the concrete, sand, and water, gravel stay in the bag. And then he can come pick that bag up and haul it off. So, and then Walmart has those on the online, and they're pretty. I would suggest getting a few of them. They have a swimming pool, little kid swimming pool. And a lot of times I'll throw that under there, fill it up real quick, and then I'll wash out. I'll leave the pool right there. It dries up in a couple days. Either pay somebody to go get it, or I'll go get it myself.
Yeah.
I usually wait till the end of the week, and then got about 6 of them, and I'll take all 6 of them.
There's a learning curve, obviously, but you're gonna figure it out as you go, man.
Yeah, once I get 1 or 2 jobs in, I'm gonna feel more and more confident and understand exactly what I need.
I'm getting those details. I mean, it's not like pumping in Indiana might not be the same as here, obviously, but it's.
Because I didn't want to carry a water buffalo around with me everywhere I went, so I had a meter heater. The city got me doing that. Tap into the water. So I had one for a fire hydrant too. So it worked for a couple of years.
For us in Indiana, with the city limits, you gotta have a watch-out bag, and it's gotta have their seal on it. So you buy those online, or you can buy them through the concrete company.
But doing that,
but they're a couple $100.
They're gonna put you in handcuffs if you do that, man.
They made me get a mobile water meter, and I paid for that bitch every month. That was my punishment. A mobile water meter. That thing was about 300 pounds, man. Yeah. Maybe use that damn thing. Like probably after about a year, I'm like, yeah, fuck that.
Yeah, I don't want.
But I said, Your Honor, it falls from the sky. How can he steal it? You want to give me 30 days for it? You pay the fine.
And do I need to worry about like purchasing a lid for this or no?
A what?
A lid, a cover?
My firm belief is it only take a few times the driver get a low, and he'll know better to do that. They just spit on his truck. Oh shit! Now he's got to wash the truck off. Yeah. He'll know better. I mean, everybody has their job, man. I don't really. You can. I've seen guys fabricate them, but
there's no need for them.
No. I mean, if you know what you're doing, man, you don't need a. Usually I set up a curtain, a plastic curtain. Just clean. It's a clip, and that way if they fill it over, it just runs off. I diesel it down, or hydraulic diesel, and spray the machine down, and I'll put plastic around. I'll usually, when I'm washing up, I'll usually throw the plastic up there, so it kind of acts as kind of a lid, kind of. But the water won't sport out when you're pumping just water. No. Only when you let the pump dry with concrete.
Or your wear parts are really worn out.
Or they're really out.
Okay, let's make a couple of strokes with it. No, but you will do it.
So if I'm using... Now, I could leave the fan on if I want to every time, right?
But that's not
even
the fan.
Even if it's cold?
Yeah.
This is the fan, isn't it?
No, that's the vibrator.
The one down.
Yep, that's the
on
fan.
right now.
Yep.
I don't hear it running.
You turn the key to the on position. You don't because you
I
don't.
hear it. Yep, I hear it.
No.
Well, I wasn't going to operate this. I was going to do it manually.
I know.
I was going to try both.
Oh, okay. So mainly is up there.
Okay. I got to pull this out.
Yeah, or you can twist it, either one. You're always going to run that 2100. Whatever you do.
ese de emergencia. El de emergencia, apágala.
No creo que la quiera apagar, no la vamos a mover. Lo que quiero que me expliques es para aprender
What
el
you were
control.
trying to do? Oh, but it was him. Okay.
So to start the remote, I click the switch off. I gotta bring this down.
Yeah.
Turn it on.
Turn it on right there on
Just
Center
on the on position and you will see the light.
right there. And then click both of them on.
Hold them until you stop blinking and then release them.
Okay.
You're ready to run.
And it's ready to go right there.
Now you can hear the diesel pump coming up.
So there's I'm out there and I have to do something out there to do stop.
That's all pretty hard.
So I'm running forward, reverse, and I'm safe. This is just to get it started, that's it, right?
Yeah, and that's your agitator. If you hit that button, the agitator starts working.
Pretty simple.
Yep. That way, in this panel, in this setting, the contact or the relay, when they convert, this panel now no longer works. Other than the e-stop, the driver can still hit an e-stop and shut you off. That's the only thing that does work. But you can't come and turn it on, turn it off while you're on the wall or something. So don't do it.
¿Ya apago la camioneta, Carlos? ¿O la
¿Ya la apago, eh?
Ah, sí, estaba cargando, es que estaba
ya.
cargando su teléfono y a ver si no trabaja. Pero sí, ya está.
And then just go through your manual and do your daily, your weekly, your monthly, and your yearly inspections. Remember that. I'm in a good practice when I wash up. So I blow my sponge out. It pops out. I know I'm done. I shut it down. I grease. Boom, 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 boom. I put the reducer up, and now I'm filling it up for the fourth time. And there's a reason why. I'm starting to fill it up. I bust the reducer. I take all the hoses, boom, I throw it on the truck and the clamps. I wash them up, throw them on the truck. I'll come over here, and now it's already greased. The machine's greased. I'll take this off. I'll fire it up one last time. I'll dump it. Now for the reverse. I check my hole. One. Two. If my cords are tight, I'll walk the rest of the way down. I'll close it. I'll put it off. I'm done.
So what were you checking in there? The bolts?
The
to make
bolts,
sure that
yeah,
they have
4
not
bolts.
loose?
Yeah,
Okay, that's what you want to check.
Yep.
Okay, so when you do a couple pumps in reverse, you're just checking that there's no cement or anything stuck in there as well, right?
And then I just wash it on down.
Rinse it out. Okay.
Yep. So I'm greased. I washed it. The remote is already up because I didn't need it.
Okay.
And then when I turn the machine off, I check my pre-tension. Boom, I'm done. I'll wash my water hose up. Now the hopper that you have full, when I throw my hose on the truck, I'll wash my face up, wash my boots, whatever. I'll bust the reducers loose. I'll clean the reducers off. I'll let it. So anything you left around, boom, 50 gallons, and wash it all away. I throw the reducers in the truck. I'm done.
How much water did you say?
Yeah.
30 gallons.
So I filled it up now 4 times.
And you said a full hopper of concrete is roughly 1 wheelbarrow of concrete.
In theory, yeah, one wheelbarrow. Might be a little more, a little less, if it's operated. So then the whole machine takes care of. The water box is empty. I get my ticket signed. I check the oil.
Aquí tiraba agua ahorita.
Good practice, I know where my remote is. I know I greased it. I check the bolts. I check my pre-tension. I check my oil.
Okay. So the second one's my fault.
So I've covered all aspects of the machine. If you get into a good practice, you know what I mean, there's not much you can miss.
And the oil, do I ever go to the machine or do I go directly
It's up to you. Napa or Discount can convert these numbers. So it's up to you. And then if the air filter out, set a number in there. You can convert them over. We use a 1030 Tier 4 Rotilla motor oil. It's a full synthetic. You don't have to, but that's what the manufacturer calls it. And the oil here, there's a marking here. It's an AW46, an anywhere 46. So it's an AW46.
Por aquí tiraba agua, ¿no le hace?
It'll tell you AW46.
¿Mande?
Por aquí tiraba agua hace rato con la presión, pero no sé si-
Do we need to worry about if it was, I
With the
wasn't
pressure?
but they were saying with the pressure being on, it was throwing a little bit of water in that.
Like it-
That you'll find that just normal, right?
That's
With
cool.
the water.
When you first time you get, just like this, we put our TV in there, but the first time you get ground around, boom, that lights will go.
Dice que es normal, es
Oh.
el agua que estaba tirando. Okay.
You
Alright.
try to
have
fill them
any
a little
other-
waterproof.
Do you have any other things that I need to worry about? Okay. I know how to start it, I know how to operate.
In your weekly inspection, they're going to talk about water. Because there is returning fluid, there is returning oil, hot and cold, hot and
Condensation and stuff like that, okay.
So there is a low point on the tank here. There's a drain, and then if you look over here, there's a low point here. Now this is your short-term valve here.
Yep.
So this is in the morning, level ground, just about a water bottle capsule. That's it. Just let a little moisture on.
Water on.
That's once a week. That's it. But you know, like I said, if you look at your daily, weekly,
Yeah.
monthly inspection, you'll see. So when I just wanted to bring them to your attention. When you see them, oh, I know what that is. You know, okay. Oh, pre-tension gas. Okay, well, I've seen that. You know. So you know, just keep in mind, one is a phone call away. You know, I mean, I'm
Yeah.
right next to them. So any questions you have, you know,
Yeah.
we're only a phone call away. The normal step doesn't come there. We left it on there because I thought it was kind of cool, but I mean, you can take it off if you want.
Yeah.
I thought it was kind of cool.
So I know that after every use, because it's going to be cold where we're from,
Yeah.
I want to keep that drained until I get to the job site.
To the job, right? There's two factors. Freeze is a big consideration. The number one consideration is
The coolant on the engine.
no. He's talking about water box.
No, yeah, but I just remember that we filled out with a 50-50 right there. So
Yeah. So if it's going to get colder, you need to go do a strain.
yeah.
Because we do it for our climate.
Yeah.
So in the diff rod, that chrome rod that you see sticking out, there's Teflon and rubber packings in there that holds the hydraulic fluid in. Those contract at different spaces than the case on the chrome rod. So it'll actually, like a straw, it'll suck in water if you leave them full, and then that returns back to the tank. So you keep building more water, and then same, you know, the first time that main drive sucks in a little bit of water, that's it.
How much water? I know that at the beginning we fill them up. We're going to
Just
fill
splash
this
out whatever
box,
you
but is that something I got to keep my eye on as
No.
I'm pumping? I don't have to
It
do
will
that
splash
first.
whatever you
Whatever it does to need.
yeah.
Okay.
Because it'll when you're pumping slow, it'll stay fairly high, but then as you pump faster, it'll splash out more and more. No, I mean as long as it's not draining out. No.
Yeah. And I don't need to cover it as I'm working, right? I can leave it open, kind of like
Yeah,
you
you
guys
leave
have
it.
it.
Yeah, a lot of guys just bolt this down and leave the top off all the time. It's up to you. That's just a reference point. Like I said, everyone in a fatality. So as long as you guys recognize that,
Yeah.
you can't be
Careful. One is
this guy,
stuff.
man, is a pretty sad case. This guy here, man, I got there after the fact. What I think happened was he did about 110 yards. I don't know, maybe 60 or 70 yards into it. He probably kept seeing a rock come by. For whatever reason, he decided to grab it. Well, it cut off these 3 fingers.
Yeah.
Well, remember when the 6.0s had that problem? They pick him up in the ambulance, and it breaks down when the hospital releases that guys. So it's a class action lawsuit. They had Ford implicated in this too. But just bad luck. But I mean, it happens that just compounded. Happens that quick. So, like I said, I mean, it's a thinking man's game. So anytime you're going to do something, turn it off, verify the zero, let me work on it. It takes a second to turn it off.
Se le ocurre meterle el dedo cuando
And
está
I don't know if you
prendida.
train your guys, once you turn the machine on, you leave it on the job. You don't ever turn it off.
Ahí se
Sometimes there's a
quedan los
considerate
dedos, ahí se
factor.
quedan.
I mean, if there's a big rock and you got to turn it off, and it's like, if I got to steal somebody's battery out of the high load and get my machine on, okay, then that's what I got to do. But I'm not going to stick my hand in there.
So usually within 5 minutes, as long as I leave it on, just to kind of let it warm up idle, that's fine,
Well,
right?
that-
Before the concrete gets there.
I mean, now if it's 32 or below, I'll preheat it, and then in your manual, you're going to see hard and soft stroke. This is where this is, hard and soft stroke. This will get you in more trouble than help you on, that I found. If you're doing it all school, you know they don't use any fly ash. It's all Portland. Okay. It's a little hard to pump. Sometimes the rock is hard to shift over. Well, that takes, there's an MPS manifold here. It senses how much pressure that rock needs to switch over. If it only needs 60, that's all it uses, 60. If it needs 40 one time, it only needs 40. If it needs 110, it'll use 110. When you flip and you take that offline, it shifts now at 200 bar, boom, and the whole machine kind of moves, boom, boom. I mean, the downfall is these end caps here, because now there is no cushion to when that thing is slamming, it's going to rip this end cap off. So not today, not tomorrow, not next year, but it will eventually rip it off. It will. Over the years, we got, I mean, more than 1,000 of them probably, and somebody's tried to re-weld them. By then, they're gone.
So pretty much leave it alone then.
You leave it alone, yeah. Leave it in the normal operation. What you see is normal operation. I've used it maybe in 40 years. I maybe used it twice. It's not a real big consideration. Now the next is the locking cock. See right here in this quarter turn valve? See it in there? Yes. And that, what that does is it cuts the circuit off from the MPS to tell the rock to switch over. So in a normal setting, the machine sees A, B, C, D in a numeric order. When you turn that off, you lost the C circuit. It doesn't know what to do. So it holds pressure. It's 300 bar. I could preheat my machine like that. It's not actually doing nothing. It's just using the main pump and forcing that oil in there, and it heats up quick. In 10 minutes, you can go from 32 degrees to about 100 degrees, real quick.
So it's always, but this would be open, right? That's open right there.
That's open now.
But it's easy for someone to accidentally bump into it or be
well, if you sit there one time and it stops, you know it's your locking cock. You know, I mean, you for sure. You know, I mean, there's no other thing that can be. Minus somebody stole your MPS manifold, but I mean, you know, I mean, it's going to be your locking cock for sure. And that is usually among other pumpers, they'll do that to you because they know. But I mean, if you're in a fleet of 100 guys, hell yeah, you're going to get done to you a couple of times. You know, especially when you're on a 47 meter and you're 5 stories up. Like, fuck, you son of a bitch! Come all the way back down. Turn the lever. You can ask the labor to do it, but they will never figure it out. You know, so. But that's how you heat. Now there is a cold weather kit that you can buy, and you can move that valve to here, so it makes it a little bit more user friendly. But I mean, I don't know how many times you're gonna go. Usually in Virginia, when we were pumping, you know, you gotta heat the room up 10, you know, because the ground's frozen. You know what I mean? So they gotta heat up for 2 days. You walk in there, and then by then it's so hot, you know, you're in your underwear working. So I don't know how many times you go out when it's freezing.
Not just rarely. I mean, if it's freezing, we don't try to avoid that.
So
it's above 20 degrees.
So if I go out and it's below 30, I preheat the machine about 10 minutes. Not, you know, half throttle, close it, put it on forward, and it'll hit about 150 bar. You know, stay, you know, right in here about your normal pumping, 150, 200 bar, and I'll leave it there for about. I come check out at 5 minutes and see where my temperature is, and I'll come back about another 3 more minutes, and it'll be 100 degrees. It'll be so hot you can't touch the thing. I'll stop the machine, put it in normal operating, let it cycle a few times, get the rest of the hot oil go through the whole machine. Let's go, let's pump. I'm ready. That's how you preheat. So, anything else you think?
No, I think I've got all the main things that I needed to learn down.
Yeah. A lot of stuff, you know, you'll forget on the way home, but then, you know, like I said, you watch the video and you read the manual pretty good, and if anything, you call us up. Yeah, absolutely. Call it. Fortunately, I've been doing this too long. I don't know what else to do, so I'm stuck here, I guess.
I retired. They drain this completely, or leave the water that's remaining in?
Yeah, I just take it right out. Yeah.
Oh, my friend, thank you.
I usually travel like that. I usually